Black lives matter. Black lives matter? Black lives matter. The matter of black lives. What's the matter with black lives? Yo, it's Ted again. Civil rights activist, the nation's #1. Homeless activist, the nation's #1. Veterans, human rights, youth activist. We're here to discuss or continue discussing the matter of black lives in the United States of America. We talked in the last segment about the National Birth and Identity Certificate of Black Lives. That which makes our lives matter in document, in law, on earth and in heaven. God is behind this matter concerning our birthright in this United States of America. The 14th Amendment is our birth certificate, our national birth certificate. Our 14th Amendment birth certificate was granted to us, black lives, for a purpose, for a reason. It was not granted to any other ethno-racial group in the country. It was granted to the people who were brought as slaves. Now that's a key thing. They were brought as slaves of Africa. They were already slaves in Africa when they were purchased by the Portuguese first, the Spaniards secondly, then the other European nations and the British. They did not come ashore hunting down the various ethno-racial groups and tribes of West and Central Africa, some in South Africa. They did not hunt these people down and capture them. Some was involved in the interior work, few of those people, but not many, for many different reasons. We'll talk about that more later. The point is, these were people who were already slaves. My ancestors, your ancestors, we were already slaves when we were put on those slave ships and brought to America. Remember, the first sailing ship that came here was the Lion, the White Lion, and the Treasurer. That was the first group of slaves. Now, all the other people in America, beginning with the Pilgrims up further north in Plymouth, Massachusetts, they called them the Pilgrims. They came from primarily England and those areas. They came here willingly, seeking the American dream. They were looking for it, and they came to either suffer, succeed, fail for themselves and their posterity, their generations, their children after them. They came willing. So they came on the Mayflower. So metaphorically speaking, everyone who comes to the United States willingly as immigrants, legal or illegally, they came on the Mayflower. The black lives came on the White Lion and the Treasure unwillingly. The ancestors, our ancestors, did not come to these shores with the American dream in our eyes and in our heart, willing to suffer or succeed or fail for ourselves and our children after us. That was not our dream. Our dream was Africa, where we came from. That's all we knew, our ancestors. We knew nothing else. Whether it was good or bad back there, that's where we wanted to be. We didn't hit the ground, the shore, running for the American dream. We were dragged into it. And here's a little mystery for you. If you listen to Dr. King's speech, I Have a Dream, he says, I have a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. Deeply rooted in the American dream, not the American dream. There's a big difference there. And people wonder, how come black folks can't get ahead? How come black folks so messed up? Well, it's not about black people, it's about human beings. If you take any human being, no matter what color they are, brown, red, yellow, ethnic, and you put them through 250 years of chattel slavery, which was considered an institution, like baseball is an institution, no question, it's just what it is. And then immediately after the chattel slavery, placed under race laws that segregated them, discriminated them for another 99 years, how would any people behave in that condition, not having written on their genetic wall the American dream? We tried to put it on our walls, but was consistently denied it through slavery and through Jim Crow. So it's not there. But on the immigrants' minds, it is there, which is a wonderful thing. But I want to make it very clear, therefore, there's two entries into the American experience. It has nothing to do with skin color. That's a misnomer there. It's a lie. It has to do with an experience. Immigrants, if you go to the Constitution, look up Article 1, Section 8, that's where the Constitution gives the powers of immigration and naturalization, dealing with the immigrants, to the Congress. And whatever the Congress writes up that determines one to be a citizen of the United States and the process by which foreigners must go through to become a citizen of the United States, that's deemed to Congress to do that. Okay, and that's the route that non-chattel slave people, that's the route that they go. I call that the front door of citizenship. Now, the 14th Amendment, the birthright citizenship of the people who were brought here as slaves, and a war was fought over their existence, which freed them from chattel slavery. After that war, they were granted the 14th Amendment. They were granted a very special, unique citizenship that was not a state citizenship. We had a citizenship with the federal government. Nobody else has that citizenship. And we'll talk more about that later. But we came through the 14th Amendment. And the 14th Amendment citizenship, I call that the back door, okay? It doesn't matter. Front door, back door. Frankly, I like the back door. Because the back door, when you study the back door, there's such an incredible plethora of empowerment laws. You know, John McCain said something very interesting, okay? And I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to read it to you at some point. You know who John McCain is? John McCain's the senator from Arizona. He's a white guy. You see him on TV. He ran for president against Barack Obama in 2008. That guy. Yeah, that's John McCain, okay? Republican, right-wing, conservative, right? You know what John McCain said? He said black people, that's what he called it. Excuse me. He said African Americans. He said African Americans are more powerful than what they know. He says, they are very powerful. In fact, he said African Americans should have reparations. John McCain said that. He said the way these people have been treated in this country, their language taken from them, their names, they had to work without labor, they were dehumanized. He says they deserve it. I'm going, John McCain is saying this? And he said, you know what though? They'll never get their reparations. They'll never get that power that belongs to them by constitutional law. And the person asked, well, why not, Senator? He said, because the African American leadership will not allow them to get their reparations and will not allow them to get that power, will not allow them to become healed of the race wound, will not allow them to become productive citizens and become friends with white people and work as a nation to better ourselves. The African American leadership will not allow them. And John McCain is absolutely correct. You know something? We're going to get into this a little bit, okay? The matter of black lives as to why we keep finding ourselves in fights with the police, in fights with white folks, in fights with the government. We always going through something. In fights with ourselves, we kill each other more than anybody else kill each other. What is that? I'm going to tell you a lot of it, y'all. And you know it and I know it. This voice rising out of the wilderness that God is bringing to you now, will tell you who it is. It's your African American leaders, man. Them cats for pimps. Oh, you know what? I said I wouldn't say that no more. I said I wasn't going to say that no more. Oh, gosh, I'm so embarrassed. If I could blush, I'd be red. Let me back up a little bit here. Let me be a little kinder, because I'm slipping back into my virulent activist mode. I'm trying to be a statesman. I'm 65 years old, y'all. I turned 65 yesterday. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. Thank you. I'm 65. I got to go because it's time to wrap up this segment. But we're going to pick this up again with our birthright, because if something happened before the 14th Amendment that the white folks provided for us in this country, and that's the 13th Amendment. Y'all know about the 13th Amendment? Y'all know about the 13th Amendment? You sure you do? I don't think you do. Because if you knew about it, well, no, I'm messing with you. We're going to deal with the 13th Amendment. This is Ted Hayes, civil rights activist, homeless activist. Thanks be to God.